Hi you guys, it's Lisa, and today we're going to do a mixed media project that I had rolling around in my mind, and I thought I would quickly just share it with you. So I am using a piece of paper and a music sheet, and I'm going to cut that music sheet to be a heart, a large heart out of this music paper. And I have a couple of pieces of wallpaper here, and it just has small little flowers on it, and I just wanted to put it down on my piece of MDF board with my matte medium, and no rhyme or reason here. I'm just getting it down to add some texture to my background. And this piece I had written on a piece of scratch paper, and it fell behind my workstation, my work area, and I found it recently, and I thought, oh well, I guess this is telling me that I should probably do this. And I dug out a couple of dictionary pages I was showing you there, and one of them says strength. And that is the name of my piece today. I'm hoping that everyone is finding strength in this crazy time that we're going through. I know a lot of us are just rolling with the punches here and doing what people are telling us to do, and we're getting through it. But we need to find the strength to continue on with things that make us happy. And that is what I'm trying to do, and that is what I was thinking about while I was making this piece. Again, I'm just putting down some scraps of wallpaper that I get in big books from the wallpaper stores, and they give them to you. You just got to give them a call, and when they're getting rid of old patterns, they will give you the books, and you can tear them apart and use it in your art. It is a quick and easy and inexpensive way to do your backgrounds. And this is just an old dictionary page. I'm sure if you've been here before, you've heard me say I have a little free library in front of my house, and I go out there and I look for different things I can use in my art. And this old dictionary has definitely been used quite a bit. I use it whenever I'm kind of stuck for inspiration, and I'll find the word and I'll put it in the piece, and that just makes me happy. I like to go ahead and do that. So we're putting these down just to create some texture and just to get started with the creating. All I knew is I wanted a heart, and I wanted the word strength for this piece. And I wanted it to be a little bit larger piece. I believe this one is, let me measure it here. It is a 9 by 12. So a piece of 9 by 12 MDF board and 3/4 inch thickness. So my background is looking pretty good here. I've got everything down and just finishing that up. We're going to give it a nice dry so that we can move on to the next step. Now I hope some of you know about a Facebook group that I created. It's called Everything Paper and Glue, and if you like to use paper and glue and create and have a nice fun community with giveaways, challenges, drawings, all that fun stuff, this may be the place for you. Make sure you check it out. I'll try and leave a link below, and make sure you answer the questions, because if you don't answer the questions, I won't be able to let you in. I'm using my emery board, as I so often do, around the edges, and cleaning up my workspace with my sweeper there. I'm using my heart that I had for a template and just going on the background here with my gesso. And my gesso that I've been using recently is by Liquitex, and it's working just great for me. So just using the brush and use that as a mask and put that down so that we can create that heart for the background. Now I'm going to use some I want to say I used modeling paste, but looks to me like I used the heavy gesso. I apologize with that. I used heavy gesso here instead of modeling paste. Both things would work just perfectly for you. And I'm using a stencil that I absolutely love from Tim Holtz, and I will have to look it up. I'm not sure of the name. It's by Stampers Anonymous, and I will find that for you because I use it quite a bit. And I am putting that stencil down around the heart, so it kind of looks real elegant. And here I had a lot of that heavy gesso left on my stencil, and I wanted to flip my stencil over, so I'm just saving the rest of that heavy gesso to an art journal page. And I have a palette knife there, and I'm using the back of my palette knife and just doing it real quick. You will see in the photographs at the end, it isn't 100% perfect, but that's not what the piece was about. It's about finding the strength to carry on, keep being creative, and keep doing the things that we love. And make sure that you take the stencil and your palette knife to the sink right away and get rid of that heavy gesso, or it will clog up the holes in your stencil, and we don't want that. So of course this is going to have to dry, and I wanted to put down some on the background behind the heart and create some depth and dimension for the project just by using my palette knife on the edge there. So just pulling it down and adding texture. This is a real quick and easy project. I had it on my desk for a long time because I was just doing other things and I just didn't get back to it. So it took me a while, but it is a quick and easy project. As you'll see, there aren't too many steps to it. Just gotta let it dry again. So now everything is dry, and I decided that I was going to go over the heart area with some gesso and some tan acrylic paint. And the kind I used, I believe it's called khaki. Any type of tan would do, and I'm just kind of letting the white and the tan kind of intermingle there and just putting it down on the heart, leaving white streaks also with the tan paint, and going all over the heart. I think it's pretty just like this, but we're going to continue on and keep going. I needed to put some color down, of course. Now, the purple that I used is one that I use all the time, and it is called Light Purple, and it's a Master's Touch acrylic paint. And I went all around the outside of the heart and using just a soft brush. And then I brought in some darker purple, and it is just an apple barrel craft paint, and it's called Wild Iris, I believe is what I used. Just whatever you got, whatever colors that you like. Just use up what you have. Yep, it is Wild Iris, and I've looked for this color at the store different times, and it's something that I can't get, but a close substitute that I have found, very close, is by Craft Smart Paints, and it's an acrylic paint, of course, and the color that I matched it with, let's see here, Violet or Regal Purple Violet Royale. So if you want to get close to what I had, that is the color that I had. That's pretty darn close. Now I'm going to let that dry a bit, and I'm going to spray alcohol on the piece, and I don't care if it's on the heart or on the purple. I'm just going to remove some of that paint after I let it dry a little bit, not too long, maybe just 4 or 5 minutes, and I'm just removing some of that paint to show the background through, and it just adds another layer of texture, and I think it just turned out amazing. And then I put down the paper towel back on the heart, and some of that purple came off, and I liked that. It kind of pulled the piece all together, so it was fine for me. I'm going to use my burnt umber and some water and create a wash like I love to do. And all of my paint on the background is absolutely dry now. So I'm going to get a paper towel at standby, and I'm going to cover the whole piece with this raw umber and water. Is it raw umber or burnt umber? It is burnt umber, I'm sorry, excuse me. Burnt umber and water, and spraying more water and letting it run, and using my towel. And now is just when you play and you let the piece talk to you. We want to let it show you what it's going to do here, and I knew that that texture was going to come out in that heart and make it absolutely beautiful, and I think it did. To me it did. Just using water here and just letting it run and dabbing with a paper towel until it just tells you that it's ready. It's beautiful. You can use a heat gun here or a blow dryer if you like to rush that along. Sometimes I do, but most of the time I'm working on more than one project at a time, and this allows me to go back to the other project and give this one some dry time. Alright, now here is where I didn't know what I wanted to do. I loved the heart, and I had this stamp here, and it's called cheesecloth. So I used the stamp on some tissue paper, and I stamped it in potting soil archival ink and jet black archival ink. And my thought was I was going to put down that tissue paper around the edge, because I was kind of chicken to use the stamp on its own. But after thinking about it, I just thought, go for it, have some strength, and I just went for it. I used my black archival ink, of all things. I had a baby wipe ready on the side there in case things went terribly wrong. I'm using that paper heart as a mask, and I'm going around the edge of the heart with my cheesecloth stamp and my jet black archival ink. And I'm loving how this turned out. So sometimes you just gotta go with it, you know, don't be afraid. You can always wipe it up, use a little alcohol, go back and make it work for you. So I decided to go all the way around the edge, and I'm really glad that I did, because it's real nice. It turned out real well. I gotta get that last part down at the bottom because it looked strange with that being empty there. There. Now I wanted to make sure that this really dried really well, so I set it aside, and I believe I let it sit overnight, and it's nice. It's really nice. You'll see in the pictures. Now here's a stamp that I'm going with, and I wrote out the word strength, and I just laid out the rubber stamps to see where I was going to use for placement. Use my archival ink, and I'm just going very carefully and adhering those rubber stamps. Now they don't have to be perfectly straight, so don't worry about it if they're not perfectly straight. Sometimes it's easier just to put them on a little bit crooked so that people know that you did that intentionally. And I'm just stamping out the word strength. And if I could give anything to any of you, it would be the power of strength, so that we can continue on. Try to do the things that you enjoy every day, and think happy thoughts, so that we can get through this crazy, crazy time. And give each other strength. So I like how this stamping turned out very much. And I let it dry just for a little bit. And that stamp set I wanted to mention, and I will link it down below. It's by My Favorite Things, and it's called Well Connected Alphabet. And it's really neat because all the letters connect. So now I'm using my 6B Extra Soft charcoal pencil, and I'm going around the edge of the heart. And if that cheesecloth did not match up to the edge of the heart, I'm just bringing that charcoal a little bit farther out, and it totally fixes any of the gaps that you would see. But I didn't have too many, so this was just a 5-minute process here. I don't have too much to shade. It worked out real well. And then I'm going to use some wax on the heart. And if I could put my finger on that, it's right here in front of me. It's by Finnabar Art Art Alchemy. I can't say it. I'm sorry. I'll have it listed below for you. And it's a aged brass wax, and you just put it on with your finger. Here I'm trying to use up that black gelato to go around my edges, and this makes the piece just pop. And I went around, and then I decided to drag the black in a little bit to create a real nice shadow and border on the piece. And I was wondering if I needed any more down in the left hand corner, but I liked that open area there, so I left it alone. Like I said, you can see how quick and easy this piece was. And I like pulling that in. I liked how it gave that neat shadow. I hope that you liked this video, you subscribe to my channel, and share it with a friend. I really would like to have some more subscribers so that I can grow my channel and stay here and create for you. I try to do a Tuesday mixed media video and a Saturday art journal page, and right now we are finishing those art journal backgrounds. So check it out. Maybe you would like it. Putting that wax down, and I'm going to seal this piece with my Minwax spray. I'll link it below. And then I'm going to go over it with my Minwax semi-gloss finish after my spray dries. And then I'm going to put it in my craft room and look at it and make sure that it brings me strength. Thanks so much for stopping by, and I'm glad that you spent this time with me today. Have a great week. Thank you.